Explosive today. Explosive on so many different fronts, so many different levels, man. It's incredible what's going on. It's the revelation, the mask is falling off completely and totally. There are still people that are under the trance. There are still people that are following the cult that haven't left. But more and more people are leaving the reservation because it's becoming incredibly obvious that the emperor has no clothes, that the cult leader is just that, a cult leader. He is revealing his lies to you in real time nowadays. And as his approval rating continues to drop into the cellar, I'm surprised it's in the 30s. It's in the low 30s. I'm still surprised that amount of people are still cool with some aspect of what a pedophile is doing in the White House. I don't understand it. But here we are. I know it's been a while, but it's time to get back in the saddle. What's going on? It's Gorilla Underground. How is everyone doing? So the buffoon has said that he never said that he wouldn't engage in new wars. And I thought, my jaw dropped. My jaw dropped when I saw that, when I heard that. I read it initially, and then I'm like, let me go see this interview on Meet the Press. Good Lord. Then he storms out like a little bitch. And this is my whole deal about MAGA and the MAGA cult, about the manosphere and these alpha males that are running around selling you courses. They're like, yeah, come, I'll teach you how to be an alpha male for thousands of dollars a month, or however the hell they're pricing their seminars, getting rich off of you. These people telling you, we're going to teach you how to be alpha males. Meanwhile, they look up to this guy who could not take some questions from a reporter sitting right across from him, pressing him on some things, and he got up and left like a snowflake. I mean, it keeps revealing itself more and more and more and more. Straight snowflake. It was incredible to see. We will go over that. John Brissom is supposed to be joining me in a little bit. I had a guest lined up for today. Didn't work out. I decided I would go live anyway. And hopefully next week that will happen. But I did want to talk to the people. Plus, it's been a while since I've done a broadcast. So I'm like, I feel like I need to vent about this in some capacity, because after I saw it, everything comes back. It's like, what is going on here, for one? Second, how does he continue to just talk absolute nonsense and people just follow it? Even though, again, less and less people are doing it, which is a beautiful thing. But I mean, we are all old enough to remember how many times this dude said no new wars throughout the course of the campaign. No new wars, no new wars, no new wars, no new wars. I'm going to end the war in between Ukraine and Russia in 24 hours. 24 hours, he said. He said he solved freaking 12 wars, 9 wars, 10 wars. I don't know how many it's been. He's like, we don't get credit for the amount of wars that we've solved, that we've ended. This liar blatantly says to you. And now he comes out and says, I never guaranteed that we wouldn't have any wars. This shit is incredible. Incredible. I always used to say, I'm like, I can't see Donald Trump getting elected again. But if for whatever miracle of God he does, and boy, was I wrong about that, right? At least we will get some closure. At least we'll get some closure. And people will come around and say, damn, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And there has been some of that, but is it worth the price? Is it worth the price that we have to pay for the closure? I don't think it is. I'd rather not deal with any of this stuff, but maybe it's just a process that needs to take place in order to pull people out of the cult. So people can see that they've been lied to all along. It's been 10 years now of this nonsense, dealing with this shit. And he continues to lie, and he continues to lie, and he continues to lie, and he continues to lie. And people continue to buy and buy, in particular in the alternative community here in the dark corners of the alternative media. They refuse to let this go. John Brissom is here, ladies and gentlemen, live from the kill shed. Let me pull down Donald Trump real quick. We'll put him back up. But I want the people to see you real quick. There he is. Look at that. Look at that bald head. You let that beard grow. We got to trim that thing again. What's going on, sir? How are you?
I will. It's still not crazy looking yet anyway. But I'm glad to be here on Grill Underground, Billy. Thank you for having me. Yeah, Trump's rain barn interview, right?
Did you see it?
I saw clips of it.
What a disaster, bro. What a disaster.
He walked out and stepped on the mic, right?
Holy crap. And the thing is, dude, and I was saying right before you got on here, I don't know if you heard me say it or not, but I was like, this is the alpha male of all alpha males. This is the standard of what an American male should be according to the cult. Yes, no? Right? This is
according to them, yes.
According to them, not in reality. But we're not living in reality. We're living somewhere else, right? So in their reality, yes, that's the epitome, the example of a man. I was watching Owen Schroyer versus Destiny the other day, just clips of it because it came up, and Destiny brought up the fact that Donald Trump had cheated on all of his wives, and Owen Schroyer's best comeback was, "Well, they all still love him, or they all loved him," or something to that effect. And I was like, man, that's your best comeback, bro. And this is what the manosphere, these alpha males, real true alpha males, they're like, that's the way to act. So this dude is sitting across from a reporter from the fake news media that he says is fake news. I'm not saying that, he's saying it, right? Sitting across from them and talking to them. If they said favorable things about him, it wouldn't have been fake news. But since they were pressing him on shit, and this is nothing new, this has been going on since 2016, people were just under some type of spell. And they were like, he's really giving it to the mainstream media. No, he wasn't. He was deflecting from legitimate questions asked about him back then. And now we're seeing it unfold. So she's asking him questions about the war in Iran. She asked him questions about the election, the 2020 election, the election in California, and boom, the guy blows up and walks out, couldn't take the heat, didn't have legit answers for anything, leaves. And I just think it's incredible that we got people like Andrew Tate, who is a grifter and is taking your money. People like Alex Jones, who is a grifter and is taking your money. All of these people that promote this stuff, the super alpha male stuff, this is their idol. This is the guy they look up to, the alpha male of all alpha males. And Alex Jones did the moonwalk back when it's convenient, along with Candace Owens, along with, all these other fools. But they all come back at some point, even though I don't know if this is permanent. Maybe with Candace Owens, it might be permanent now. But I think the separation from MAGA was calculated. I don't feel comfortable.
Who's puppeting Candace Owens, though?
Who you tell me?
You tell me.
I don't know.
Who did she? What was Candace Owens' big trip?
She just went to Russia.
Yeah, and what did she speak on, Billy?
Well, hold on. Let's get there.
All right.
She was there with Andrew Tate.
Of course. All right. Now, I thought Russia was anti-LGBTQ plus with Andrew Tate being over there, but I digress.
Very nice.
Alpha males. We talk about alpha males, all circling back, right? Clavicular and Peter Thiel, all circling back.
Very nice, Mr. Brissom. Scott Bessett, the alpha male of all alpha males, ladies and gentlemen, punching people out in the White House. Anyway, so I don't feel comfortable with the mass exodus from the main pundits, the cream of the crop, alternative media pundits who co-opted the alternative media and became the cream of the crop of it. I don't feel comfortable with their mass separation in unison. It doesn't feel organic to me. It feels like they all, what was the pivoting point? Because it's happened. There's been egregious action after egregious action after egregious action. It wasn't enough that this guy was a pedophile. It wasn't enough. But then they finally turned their back over the war, supposedly, in Iran and Israel, whatever. We could talk about that too, because shit just hit the fan there, right? But it's just incredible to me that the alpha males of all alpha males is actually a snowflake. The biggest snowflake of all the snowflakes. The greatest snowflake. I'm the best snowflake. I'm the golden snowflake, the orange snowflake. Some call me the orange snowflake. Some call me the daddy snowflake. But in all actuality, I'm the best snowflake, the biggest snowflake. John Brissom comments before we play. We're gonna play him saying that he did not promise that he wouldn't get into new wars. He said this out of his mouth. Go ahead, sir.
It just seems like to me that we should expect this with Trump at this point, and I have no idea why Owen Schroyer would defend Trump and his adultery to Destiny, who is a cuckold. So it's very interesting to me that Owen would just at this point try to defend Trump at all.
That was some time ago. It was.
Okay. I was about to say I didn't think it was recent. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I was watching clips that popped up on my.
But even to the point of that being in the past, it's like what are you doing? Right. I mean, Trump. Of course, anytime someone does not stroke his ego,
right, he
attacks you. If you flatter him, or if you bring tributes to the king, then he shall return in kind, right? Because it's the most important thing in Trump's world is his own personal ego.
Right.
So when someone is not stroking his ego, then he can't handle it, especially if someone's even just barely just pushing back on Trump. He can't handle it.
Right.
He goes insane.
And
the cult is going to love him standing up and saying, "You're all fake news. You're all fake news." A lot of them are still going to enjoy that. And notice that he did not mention Fox News.
No, he didn't. He said everything other than except for Fox News. Go ahead.
Correct. He said CBS. He even mentioned CBS, or did he not mention CBS?
We'll play it.
He mentioned ABC, NBC,
right? CNN.
Did he mention CBS because of Barry Weiss?
I think he did mention CBS. Just
play it to make sure, because I only heard CNN, ABC, and NBC. And we know CBS right now, because of Ellison, is in the pocket of the Trump administration.
I think it's just diarrhea of the mouth, for the record.
Barry Weiss.
I understand what you're trying to point out, and I agree with you. I just think it's Trump is diarrhea of the mouth, and he just went off and said these things because he's been used to saying them for so often.
Sure, I don't disagree with you there at all. But I mean, this is what we should expect from Trump, and Trump is indefensible at this point. He's been indefensible for years,
forever. You finished?
No, that's just. I mean, there's not really much for me to add other than the commentary that you've already given. It's indefensible. If this is, we point to Trump, a man who detests God, hates God, is a narcissist, is an egomaniac, is a megalomaniac, is, just a horrible human being that needs God. And he's the archetype that we point to as a father and a husband and as the alpha male, the leader of the free world. Really? Come on. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I agree 100%. Let me shout out the chat real quick. People that showed up, they're all my friends. Nobody knew that I was really going live today. I haven't been around. It is what it is. I can't even promise that I'm going to be more consistent. I just can't. But Ashley's in the chat. What's up, DJ Angry Tiger? What's going on, my guy? How are you? Dustin Helm, my dude. How are you? There's a couple of others that I saw. Hold on. There was the other guy. I want to say what's up to them real quick before I lose track. Lord H.P. Lovecraft. What's up, my guy? How are you? What's good? It's good to see you. Good that you're here. And thank you. all of you for tuning in today. But I had to talk about this, man. There's no way that this wasn't happening today. I still have tons of work to do, so we're going to keep it short. And next week, we're going to try to put together a show. We might go 3 hours next week. I don't know. I hope so. But let's see what develops. Anyway, all right, cool. Let's do this. Let me play this clip of Trump. And if you guys haven't seen this interview, it's on YouTube. It's only 40 minutes because the bitch in chief walked out. But it's interesting to see. Anyway, let me. This is Meet the Press. What's this lady's name? Kristen Welker?
I don't know.
Hold on, Kristen Welker, I think it is. Hold on there. All right, let's play it.
I'd like to see it, but I'm not the man. Okay.
It was raining in the background.
And he blames the rain. He blames the rain, by the way. It put him in a pissy mood, Billy.
It's the moon. it screwed with his feelings.
I wonder if we should, let me just get a gut check here. Should we pause for 5 minutes and let this pass? I just want to be able to hear everything he said. Mr. President, one of your consistent campaign promises was no new wars, going all the way back to 2015. Did you break that promise to the American people?
No. I had to stop a country, very powerful, very dangerous country, from having a nuclear weapon because they'd use it. They'd blow up the world. They'd blow up the Middle East. They'd blow up Israel. They'd come here. They'd blow up Europe. They're nuts, okay? They're crazy people. I deal with them. And very high-strung people. Crazy. And get along with them. I like them. But you don't want to let them have a nuclear weapon. And I'm doing the world a service, but I'm doing our country a service. You know, it's America first. I'm doing our country a service. Nice rain.
It is raining hard.
Nice rain. He's a genius. He was able to point that out. Now, there's a point in time where he literally says, I never guaranteed that. I got to find that clip, that part of the, I thought I had it there. But
let this pass. I just want to be able to hear everything he said. The rain did not stop, but neither did our interview. When we come back, President Trump on his promise to never start a new war.
All right. I think it's right after this that they get into it. So let's bear with me here. I think it's right after this because I want to get that part.
I'd like to talk big picture now, Mr. President. One of your consistent campaign promises was no new wars, going all the way back to 2015. Did you break that promise to the American people?
No. I had to stop a country, very powerful, very dangerous country.
We just saw that. I'll find it. But he still says no, he didn't break that promise. He clearly did. But he specifically said, I never promised that. He specifically said that. So I'll try to find it throughout the course of the broadcast. Brissom, your thoughts, man?
Obviously, we were already in wars during Trump's administration during the first term with what happened in Syria and then later what happened, what would continue to happen in Yemen. I mean, it's what do we? Trump's a liar. What more can I say, Billy? What more can we say about Trump? He's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a liar. He lies. Okay. And I'm surprised that he ever admitted that he made a mistake. Even remember during his 2016 with the locker room talk,
right?
He admitted that was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
That was like what, the only time?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that today a lot. So we're definitely not going to get it with this. But I mean, what we're seeing right now is the setup for Trump to save Israel from Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, it looks like to me that Trump is going around and saying that I'm forbidding them to do this, I'm forbidding them to do that. Now, whether or not, Trump has any ability to do so or not, does not look like that to be the case. We're going to find out, or at least the people around Trump. But the thing is it's causing a lot of people, and rightfully so, to be angry at the Israeli government and Bibi Netanyahu. And more people are becoming angry because Israel is constantly, habitually overstepping lines, killing diplomats, breaking ceasefires. They're doing it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and they don't give a damn. Go ahead.
No, and so it's interesting to see that play out, but it's making people within the conspiracy culture to blame everything on Israel.
Right.
Everything. And people, some people to develop anger and hatred towards the Jewish people, when a lot of Jewish people don't like what's going on in Israel, don't like Bibi Netanyahu. There were active protests against Bibi Netanyahu throughout the most recent tenure of him being prime minister. So much of the only thing that's keeping him in power, one would say, is the war, because they effectively want him out. A lot of Israel does, and effectively a lot of American Jews do as well. Now, the Zionist faction is very vocal, very, very vocal, both in America and Israel. So they want you to think that every single Jewish person is in back with Likud and Bibi Netanyahu. And it's simply not true. Now, there are a lot of Jewish people, especially in Israel, that are for the Greater Israel Project. Not going to say that's not true either. So but we should talk about things that are more in balance with everything that's going on, because there is a lot of anger and tensions that are flaring up right now. And a lot of people are taking advantage of that as a talking point, including Russia.
Oh, I say, in the alt media, it's the Jews, right? And it's been that way for a long time, generalizing on a people. And there's a lot of problems with the Israeli government and their foreign policy, right?
Of course.
But yeah, this mass Jew hate, is ridiculous, and it's escalating as a result of what's going on here, right? What's going on here right now. Now, reports have it that Trump is more popular than Netanyahu in Israel. They never liked this guy. Well, not never, but as of recently, he's a war. He's supposed to be in jail. The only reason he's not in jail, meaning Netanyahu, is because he's the current leader of that country. Otherwise, he'd probably be in jail, or there would be a movement to put him in there. Regardless, that's what we're staring.
And he's corrupt. He's corrupt.
He's next level corrupt, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. Somebody in the chat, I think it was Lovecraft. I don't know who said it. There was like that reports had come out that Israel had stepped up their spying on the United States, and the Pentagon has acknowledged as much. We covered that a little bit on America Unplugged. So that's absolutely true. I want to get him saying this, I have an article that quotes it, and I did see it on this clip. I'm going to play it for a little while longer. If it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. But let me see.
From having a nuclear weapon, because they'd use it. They'd blow up the world. They'd blow up the Middle East. They'd blow up Israel. They'd come here. They'd blow up Europe. They're nuts, okay? They're crazy people. I deal with them. And very high-strung people. A little crazy. And get along with them. I like them.
Very high-strung people. A little crazy.
But you don't want to let them have a nuclear weapon. And I'm doing the world a service, but I'm doing our country a service. It's America first. I'm doing our country a service. Nice rain.
It is raining hard. Okay.
But the answer is good. Let's just keep going.
Let's keep going.
Let's power through it, right?
Here, we paused nearly 5 minutes for the rain to pass and then picked up our conversation.
Here it goes.
So you're saying you didn't break your promise, and yet, Mr. President, in your first term, you held to that promise, and it was so fundamental to who you were as a candidate to a first-term president. What changed? Because you insisted no new wars.
First of all, I didn't guarantee no war. Why?
There it is. I mean, you know what? We're going to put together an intro to Guerrilla Underground, and all it's going to be is Trump contradicting himself. My God. My God. I mean, Jesus, the bold-faced lie. It's incredible. I thought this was very important for people to see. And so let me play it one more time.
Imagine never brushing your retainer again.
Imagine
Just
never
water
brushing your
and the
retainer
touch of a
again.
button. Outdated
the
cleaning
hell is
methods
this? Hold on.
have dominated our routines for
Imagine.
It is raining hard. Okay.
But the answer is let's
The
just
answer
keep going.
is the answer is imagine never brushing your retainer again.
Keep going.
Let's power through it, right?
Here, we paused nearly 5 minutes for the rain to pass and then picked up our conversation.
So you're saying you didn't break your promise, and yet, Mr. President, in your first term, you held to that promise, and it was so fundamental to who you were as a candidate to a first-term president. What changed? Because you insisted no new
Look.
wars.
First of all, I didn't guarantee no war. Why would I have built the strongest military in the world? I built our military. I inherited a terrible.
And he's showing his face. First off, he didn't build the military either. This guy is a walking sack of lies over and over and over again. It's incredible to me. But here he's telling you, no, I never said. He'll just go back on everything he said. There are no principles. There is no plan. There is no nothing. It is just total chaos, lies, and destruction. Without a doubt, I mean, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the dumbest man to ever sit in the Oval Office, and the most evil group of people surrounding him in order to get us to this point. It's insanity. It's crazy to me. People are dying. Somebody in the chat, I think it was Lovecraft again. Hold on, let me put that up. He said something here. Hold on. I really wanted to talk about, because he was like, you people. Lovecraft, where are you from? He said, you people have bigger fish to fry or bigger problem. I mean, you people, if you're on this earth, are you living on this reality? If you're living on this earth, it's our problem. Sure, we gave it to you, unfortunately. And not me. I didn't vote for that buffoon. But this is a world problem. Big issues with this guy. Anyway, John, we're gonna move on to the snowflake in chief getting up and leaving. All right, because that's great, right? We need to see that. But thoughts on him lying? I know you already gave some, but literally saying he never promised any new wars, and this was a narrative that was carried over throughout QAnon lore. And when Biden was president, it was Trump never started any new wars. He never got us into any new wars, completely ignoring Venezuela, which popped back up now. But it happened back then with Bolton, who he just threw in. He's about to throw in jail, actually. But they did Venezuela together back during his first term, Trump's first term in office. And MAGA conveniently ignored that and just carried on with the narrative that there were no new wars started under Donald Trump and that he wouldn't start any wars, period. And also ignoring the fact that he carried on a ton of wars. Yeah, he didn't start any new war. That's a lie too. But even if that were true, he carried on all the other wars. He didn't stop anything. But that was the narrative via QAnon into even mainstream MAGA who didn't support QAnon. They would hold on to these beliefs and use them as defenses as to why he was a better alternative than anyone else, for that matter. John, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, what should we expect? Trump opens his mouth, he lies. Did you see that he's making declarations on Truth Social now as kind of, his presidential proclamations, where if he posts it on Truth, then it shall come into law, pretty much.
Mm.
So, I mean, he's been casting truth to the ground forever and a day. What am I supposed to say? The man will never admit. Okay, I will take it back. We only know one time publicly that I know of that he admitted that he was wrong.
Right.
If there's more, I'd love to see it. But he sure does not do it on a regular basis. Not enough for me to remember other than that one major time that he did. And so we shouldn't expect him to at all. We shouldn't expect to. Is he going to say, yeah, I got into the war with Iran. I did it, in conjunction with Israel or the behest of Israel or because of the Epstein files or because of whatever, excuse. No, you're not going to get that.
Right.
Instead, you're going to get, it's their, it's, this, and when Trump eventually says it's Israel and Bibi Netanyahu's fault, which I believe it is to some degree. You could debate what that degree is.
Right.
Is majority of the alternative media going to disagree with him?
His pocket.
Sorry.
I don't go anywhere with.
I'm advertising for companies here, and I'm not getting paid for it. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
But is majority of the alternative media going to disagree with him?
On what, dude? Sorry.
When he blames Israel, when he eventually says Israel and Bibi Netanyahu specifically is a reason why I got into this war, because I think eventually that will happen, where he will say it's because of Bibi's recklessness, and at least for the ceasefire, he's going to say it's Bibi's recklessness the reason why this continues, and we have not reached an agreement with Iran. He's already saying that now, but eventually that's going to be a declaration. The Zionists, like Noah Berg on X, are already telegraphing that a disappointing truth, the most disappointing truth I've ever posted on Truth Social, is going to come out. And that eventually is what it's going to be, is Bibi Netanyahu's a failure. If anybody's going to save Israel from Bibi Netanyahu, it's me. And he's the reason why we're in this in the first place. I tried for peace. My negotiators tried for peace. We tried for peace with Iran multiple times. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying this is what he's going to say. Okay?
Right.
And then, again, how many people are going to flip, Billy? How many of these people, like Candace Owens, and we're going to talk about Candace Owens in a minute, you think she's done with Trump? Yeah, unless Russia and Putin says she ain't. All right? So again, like, you understand? Like,
Man,
in a moment, it ain't, they're not principled people like you and I. Do you understand? They have no principles. There's no principles there. So the moment the narrative needs to shift like that, they'll go every which way the wind blows.
Well, now didn't, and I could be wrong about this, but didn't Rubio allude to that already and say that that they did it because
yes, that's setting up the groundwork for all
that
this.
He said that they went into Iran because of Netanyahu. I remember him saying something to that effect a few months ago. So there is that. I will be very, I mean, there are those reports that Trump is spazzing out on Netanyahu over the phone,
Which is true.
I don't think it amounts to anything though, personally. Like
I don't think it really does either, to a degree, but he's done it before. He's so-called lost his temper. We heard him on reporter losing his temper about Israel.
Right,
all right. My guess is what's going to end up happening is that Trump is going to have to eventually, and this may be months down the line, Trump's eventually going to have to stop Bibi because the world is coming against Israel.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what develops. I think he is going to carry
And if
on.
that happens, Billy, how many people in the alternative media is going to be behind them, because Israel's the ultimate evil to them?
But I don't know. I really don't have an answer to that question. I think the mask has fallen off to a degree where there's no coming back for some people. Will some people reintegrate and go back to the fold? Yeah, probably. It's tough to leave an addiction, right? It's tough to completely shed the skin of the cult, right? So I get that. So will they go back? Yeah, maybe they're looking for an excuse to go back. There's going to be a few of those but let's see how this plays out. And we'll revisit some of this. Let me play him walking out. Then we'll talk a little bit about this Russia situation. And that's another big deception that's been peppered over the alternative media, conspiracy theorists and so forth, right? That Russia is a hoax. The whole, Trump says it all the time. If Trump is saying it, believe the opposite 9 times out of 10, guys. That's just the way it is. If he's saying it, he's either projecting or he's just straight up lying.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So the influence of Russia on the alternative media should not be understated and should not be ignored and should be looked at with a microscope. And just because the narrative has been that it's a bunch of nonsense we shouldn't turn a blind eye to this because there's evidence all over the place. I invited Guard Goldsmith last minute on this. I don't know if he's. I didn't even know if I was going to go
And
live.
it's not a leftist conspiracy theory.
Why are you bringing that up? Somebody said
Because
it was
that's what most people frame it as.
well, because the left is the one are the side that's pushing it. You don't hear it from the right.
But
so
they're not wrong.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Go ahead, finish up.
No, I'm just saying they're not wrong. I mean, the leftist conspiracy theorists, I'm not saying I agree with them all and what they say,
Right.
but the ones that are, what's his name? The major ones that are still left around, I can't think of the anyway.
Piker?
Huh?
Piker?
No, not Hassan Piker. No, you. No, I'm talking about the leftist parapolitical researchers. Spitfire list, Dave Emery. So, or our good friends Jeremy Rothkushel and Greg McCarran from The Antidote.
Shouts out. Right.
I mean, and I would say they're more centrist than anything, but the point is like it got framed as a left-leaning liberal conspiracy theory.
It did. Right.
When it used to be a right John Birch conspiracy theory about the communists.
Russia,
and now the John Birchers are for Russia. What's going on?
Man.
But it's like it keeps switching back and forth.
Let me tell you, you watch enough Russia Today, you're gonna get indoctrinated into this shit. Be careful. Don't be careful when you're watching that shit and the stuff that's coming out of there. I used to watch it all the time.
Me too.
Let me see. I don't know if I'm. Let me see. Let me play it, and then I'll get to a point where I'll just leave it.
Okay.
I muted it.
If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, listen to me.
Let's talk.
Oh, here we go. What is this? Harmonious tones for sale.
Like we don't need drums.
There's nothing but
not been
evidence.
presented.
The election.
Here it is. Here it is.
Set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people.
Fuck, he's talking about.
They were
There's
being
no
ushered
evidence
into
of
the
that,
building.
sir.
Here we go.
Great idea. And so do many other Republicans.
And shout out to this young lady, Miss Kristen, for pushing back on this dude so hard. And we here in the alt media is like, oh yeah, the mainstream media is full of crap. The mainstream, and sometimes they are, guys. What can I tell you? This is why everybody has largely abandoned network television, right? I don't know if that's the reason, but it's happened. But this young lady's doing her freaking thing here. This is what she should be doing. She's not afraid of the snowflake. The snowflake is afraid of her. You ask this dude enough questions, he will retreat into his hole. He is not a tough guy. He is not an alpha male. He is a snowflake. He is orange. Look at this guy's face. Look at him. There is something seriously wrong with this guy. You know what this guy is? He's a piece of non-organic meat in the supermarket with artificial dye all over it to hide what it really looks like, because if you knew what it actually looked like, you wouldn't buy it. That's what Donald Trump is. Look at this guy. Look at him. Obvious orange. Who is advising this guy and telling him, yeah, let's put orange on your face still? Good Lord. All right, let's play it.
You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right, we're going to motor through this.
But you have to understand, people have been destroyed by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think?
Oh, this is the January 6th shit that they were talking about. We should talk about that, John. Let me go through this, and we'll go back to January 6th.
One who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Bolton was a dirty
but
cop.
There's no evidence.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
you think Comey was a straight
people
cop?
Who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No,
they had FBI.
Assaulted police
Listen
officers.
to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around.
Now, it should be noted, I don't know if there were actually FBI agents that were ushering people into the building or it was just security that let people into the building. The first people that broke into the building literally broke in. They were not let in. They literally broke in, right? And I think they were Oath Keepers that did it, or Proud Boys, one of the two that broke into the Capitol building. Then there is the issue of those security guards letting people in. I don't know. I don't know if they were FBI agents, but in the event that they were FBI agents, it was Donald Trump's FBI. Okay. These are people that he picked and put in power. It was Donald Trump's FBI. Just saying. Hold on. Let me go back and play.
They're looking always in this thing. They weren't in. They were
There's
being
no
ushered
evidence
into
of
the
that,
building.
sir. There's no evidence.
You
of
had
that.
a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000
No,
people.
well, yeah, no,
pleaded
there's
guilty
none.
to
You know what you
crimes.
do? Try
Would
looking
you-
at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off
Look
the
at
table?
the tapes
Okay,
one
but
time.
172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police
You
officers.
know why they pled
Should
guilty?
they be exempt?
Because they told they
from
were going to
receiving
jail
funds?
for 15 years if they didn't.
Should
They
they?
pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were.
Now he keeps talking about tapes and evidence. I did this here before. I played those tapes. Anybody that thought that January 6th was kumbaya is absolutely wrong. I played the tapes. We can do it again. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do it again to see what actually happened on that day. But there's a lot of nonsense coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Regardless, they're trying to pay criminals from your taxpayer money. Keep that in mind.
Ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even
You'd
going
be
into the
okay
building.
with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of them.
John, any thoughts on this since we're on it anyway? I thought this was the direct, I'm walking out. It's coming up in a bit, but anyway, it's because it's already getting tense between the two of them. But any thoughts on the January 6th issue here that slush fund that they're trying to pay the people that were arrested for January 6th?
I mean, it was just, I mean, all that is just to stoke up support for Trump to have more people behind him, more voices, more agent provocateurs, all of that. That's all that was for.
Right.
Now, I don't know if it's going to come to fruition. It looks like there was some resistance against it. We'll see. But, of course I'm against something like that. Why would I not be?
Right.
Anybody who's listening should be against something like that.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts, Billy? I mean, that's my thoughts.
My thoughts. I've played this over and over again. I think the alt media is ridiculously dishonest with themselves when it comes to this event. I saw what happened, right? And all they want to take a look at is, look at the police officers or the security guards that let people into the building. That's all they want to see. This was an event with many facets, with many different dimensions to it. And to ignore everything is a problem. Do we want to know why those people were let in the building? Absolutely. We want to know that, right? I want to know why QAnon Shaman was led around the building personally. But where and the people that kicked it off were knocking down those doors, right? They beat up police officers. They were going in there trying to take over is what the stated goal. Who was the doofus from InfoWars that got arrested? And I got a lot of shit for it. I forget his name. Do you remember that dude's name? Not Schroyer. Schroyer's another doofus, the other guy. That he said, I forgot what he said, but whatever. I'm blanking on his freaking name. Regardless, there were a lot of examples like that. Who was the lady that got shot? Ashley Babbitt. We see that footage, and the way it's portrayed in the alternative media is far from what the truth is about. And God bless that woman. She is dead now. God bless her. But she was literally trying to climb through a hole to get into the building after she was warned, and everybody else there were warned that a weapon was going to be used if they breached a particular area. It was one cop behind doors and a couple of fucking chairs blocking them. And a mob was storming that area where Ashley Babbitt was a part of. So you know how I feel about it. That's how, and I've never been dishonest about my feelings about that event. I think all those people should have been in jail. I don't think any of them should have been pardoned. Well, no, I can't say any of them. There were some people that, you know, probably falsely got accused of something. And that's not cool. But the majority of the people, especially if you went into that building, you got a problem. You got a problem. And that's just where I stand. It's just the way it is. Go ahead, John.
Trespassing, right?
At least.
So I do want to say that good old major New Ager, former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, who used to run the State of the Union forum with good old Barbara Marx Hubbard, stated on Russia Today about the January 6th Capitol insurrection. It called into the question of the future fate of the United States as a state. But you know,
Russia Today knows something about that.
Russia Today, yeah, Russia Today telling the truth, right? Telling the truth, you know. And Gorbachev ain't going to talk about how the CMP and the Family and the Fellowship and all them New Agers and futurists from the World Future Society were all carving up Russia under his leadership. But he knows a little mention that, is he? You know. So again, Russia Today, the arbiter of truth when it comes to America. But again, Putin has done nothing wrong, and Russia is the savior of the world.
And we'll get Mikhail Gorbachev has Georgia tattooed on his head. That's what I always. They say it's a birthmark. I don't think it is.
That's rough, Billy.
All right, here we go. Let's finish this.
Those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying, but let me ask you about Todd Blanchard.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with the evidence question. And I get this when I go on any show, any alternative media show, and I bring up evidence. Billy, what the hell are you talking about? Evidence? What do we need evidence for? What are you talking about? Proof? Why do we need proof? It's like, you know. So here is the leader of the non-proof movement, the Anti-Evidence League, otherwise known as MAGA, freaking the orange buffoon in chief.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing but
not been
evidence. The
presented
election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in
never
California.
presented evidence.
It's happening
that the
right now in
2020 election was
California.
rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence?
California.
So let's say that it's happening right now in California. Who is the president of the United States of America?
Donald Trump.
What the fuck are we doing, John? What are we doing here? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand.
They sent some poll workers allegedly or something with the was it with the Department of Justice? They're doing something down there in California with Spencer Pratt, right?
Right.
Running for mayor.
Right.
Los Angeles against Karen Bass, right? Doing something. I don't know what they're doing. Getting down to the bottom of it. Something, you know, something. So,
man, let's see. We got a little bit left here. Let's play it. And we're building to you know, the suspenseful and you know, like a dramatic end of the Gorilla Underground this week. It's gonna end with the snowflake of all snowflakes walking out. It's gonna be dope to see. We're going to pick up this conversation. Sebs is in the chat. What is up with you, young lady? How are you? She was supposed to be joining me today. Maybe next week you can come on. Only reason I did this show today was because of you, Sebs, because otherwise I would have just stayed on my computer and done whatever. But I was amped. I was juiced up to do it. So thank you for that. But I want to have Sebs on, and we're going to talk about Candace Owens. And that Candace Owens interview with Hunter Biden. But I also want to get into a bunch of other things. I'm going to invite John on and next week for an hour again, most likely. And then maybe I'll have Jeremy on for an hour also to do a 3-hour show. And then I got some people I want to bring on. Let's see if I can pull them. And we'll go from there. Let's see what develops. All right, John Brissom, let's play this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to see the snowflakes of all snowflakes, Black Trump?
I'm ready. I'm ready, Young Kennedy. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. This guy, Orange Trump, is not anything compared to Black Trump. Black Trump right there, Mr. Live from the kill shed, he won't run away from some words. He'll stand there and fight you till the cows come home. You've seen it. He's done it to me. But this dude just gets up and leaves because he can't take it. Can't do. What a bitch. Incredible. All right, here we go.
To that.
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
In California, no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close
That's
to
how
coming
they-
up
that's
with.
how they count
You know
the
why they're
votes in
doing that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support?
Well,
Do you have evidence? We don't need evidence. We know they're cheaters. We know they're the dirty Democrats, the Democrats. They're cheating. We know it. We know they are. Why do I need to prove this to you? Sounds like what I get from every alternative media show I go on. Why do we need proof, Billy? Oh, here you go with the proof again, Billy. Oh, Billy, you're living in another dimension that you need proof.
all I have to do is look. All I have to
But
do is
that's
look.
not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think
and
it's appropriate?
That's how they.
He said, all I have to do is look. About evidence. All I have to do is look. This is what these people consider to be evidence. I think we need a crash course in the alt media as to what evidence is and what proof is. You know, and this is a prime example of what most of these alternative media hosts and pundits think, how they think. Like, all I need to do is look. It's enough for me. Therefore, it must be right. Donald Trump has no evidence of nothing. We're still holding on to that conspiracy theory that the 2020 election was rigged. Zero evidence. He is in office right now and still can't prove it. All right, hold on.
That they
Count the votes in
Do you think it's
California.
appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be
And here he goes with the personal attacks, just like you're crooked. This is standard vintage Donald Trump. He's been doing this since day one, and we cheered him. Not me. I never did, as you know. But I'm including myself in the space of the alt media. Every time this dumb son of a bitch insulted somebody, made them look like fools, belittled them, when they asked legitimate questions about this guy that he could not or would not answer, we cheered it on. And I'm no fan of Tucker Carlson, as you know, but the one thing that he said that resonates true throughout all of this is that he feels guilty or implicated in facilitating the rise of the big orange buffoon, putting us where we are today. And then we get the debate of, oh, but if the left was in, if a Biden was in, or if Kamala was in, we'd be in the same place. No, we would not. That doesn't mean that they're good. It just means we wouldn't be in the same place. We wouldn't be here right now. They were managing the decline of the United States. Donald Trump is skyrocketing it. That's the difference here. Donald Trump is warp speed. Boom. Didn't he do something called warp speed, John Brissom, before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
fair. I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
You play
continue.
right.
Then he calls people stupid. I don't know how this lady did it, man. Because I'd have spazzed on this son of a bitch. And by the way, we don't want you in New York, man. He's supposed to be here tomorrow for the Knicks game. We don't want you here. We hate you. Stay your ass away. Knicks are on a roll. New York City's on a roll. Have you seen what's going on here in New York City? We're having a good ass time. We don't need your punk ass here. All of a sudden, this guy wants to be a New Yorker after all the shit he talks about New York.
Into their hands with this rep. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
You know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You have
Blanche.
more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about.
elections
You
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked.
Keep in mind what he's saying here. Your elections are crooked. We are like a third world country. Who is the president of the United States? Who is the president of the United States? Why are the elections still crooked? If they were crooked in the first place, why are they still crooked under this man? Why are there still wars going on? Why? Why hasn't he released the full Epstein files? Why did we have to fight him in order to do it? In order to get them done in the first place? Why? Why? All right. I promise I'm going to let you speak right after this, John.
And you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so is
President-
ABC and CBS and CNN.
But Mr.
You're
President,
one-sided crooked networks. So let's call it quits because I've had enough.
Mm.
Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to
Whoa.
Wisconsin.
I've
I
sat in the
traveled
rain
all.
with you,
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour.
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
we
great
traveled
with a
all,
dishonest
listen,
press.
we
Come on, let's
traveled
go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
What a disgusting human being. What a nasty individual. How is he allowed to do this? No, nobody's ever put him in his place in his entire life. He's a spoiled little boy. Dropped the mic on the floor. Said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving. Snowflake. The definition of a snowflake. That's what it is. That's what it is right there. Incredible. And he did mention CBS, by the way. And like I said, I think it's diarrhea of the mouth. Whatever. But your thoughts, Mr. Brissom, I'm going to turn it over to you.
No, that's what we should expect, Billy. I got really nothing much to say. He's a weak man. He's a weak man who, anytime his ego is a challenge at all, he doesn't want to have anything to do with anybody who challenges his ego or don't stroke his ego. That's just how Trump is. It's always been. So,
Oh man, it was incredible to watch. Tune into the NBA Finals tomorrow. Yes, of course, absolutely. It's New York City, damn it. We're about to win a championship. Lord willing. If Donald Trump comes here tomorrow and the Knicks lose and they lose all their momentum and then they lose the series, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. Okay. I was watching the Knicks during Patrick Ewing when he missed that layup, and it scarred me for life. I remember Reggie Miller beating us with seconds left on the board, and it scarred me for life. So it's a hard thing for me to come to this point. I'm very excited that the Knicks may actually win a championship here. Okay. Love this team. Love their grit. They represent New York and what we do in our style. I told Sebs this was going to happen. She was incredulous. She didn't believe. But now we're here. Do you understand? If Donald Trump comes in here and screws this up for me, it'll be the cherry on top. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to be able to deal with that, bro. Because I'm going to blame it on him. You can accuse me of Trump derangement syndrome all you want. But if he comes here and they lose and then they lose the series, my mind will explode. Go ahead, buddy.
shout out to A-Track. Poor A-Track. Bad form. Yeah, I got nothing to say. I don't understand sports, so I understand how basketball is played. I have no opinion. I don't care. Hope your Knicks win for you, Billy. And track.
Yes. We need
for
that.
New York.
We want that. We want that here. Anyway, regardless of that, I want to get into. Listen, let's do this, right? We got 61 people watching. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. Next week, John and I are going to pick right back up on Russia. That's what we'll do. Russia Today, and the Russian influence on the alt media. Cool. Can I book you for that?
Yeah, I should be okay.
Okay. What else? I want to go over the dead scientist, and really do a semi deep dive on that and talk to people about this, because that's also gone. You know, everybody was talking about it before, and now it's not a thing.
I want you to bring a pro-Russian voice in. I want somebody.
I don't know if Guard Goldsmith is a pro-Russian voice, but he does watch Russia Today.
I want a pro-Russian voice.
So who's a pro-Russian voice?
I don't know. Get somebody. Get somebody that champions Russia.
Be nice.
I'll be nice to them. I'll be
Be nice
nice,
to
but
me.
get me somebody. You
All
know,
right.
people that are still stuck and thinking Russia can't do no wrong and Ukraine's the devil. You know, and look, I am no fan of Vladimir Zelensky. I need to make that known, okay, before people come in and say, "Oh, John, no." But who's got more power, Zelensky or Putin? Okay, we should frame it as that. All right, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk about hypocrisy and Judge Napolitano and Konstantin Malafeev and your favorite Jay Dyer and Alex Jones we're supposed to be anti-war, right? Antiwar.com, right? But when Konstantin Malafeev, head of Sargrad TV, which was started by Fox News, by the way, we're going to get to that. All right. Comes out and says, yeah, we might as well just go ahead and nuke Ukraine. When they're doing all these things against Russia, we might as well nuke them. Might as well, right?
Yes.
So a lot of hypocrisy going around. A lot of people thinking that Russia is for, Russia Today is for America, giving the truth. When Sargrad TV, who interviewed, by the way, it was Konstantin Malafeev's outfit that wined and dined and interviewed good old Candace Owens. That's right.
Man, let me tell you. We're going to talk about all of that. Seb's is going to come in and hopefully.
She can join us. We can discuss. I need you to bring in a pro-Russian voice. You get me somebody. Anybody in the chat? Anybody want to defend Russia? Let's go ahead. Let's go. And before you come here and say, well, Joe, what about America? What about Israel? What about Britain? What about whatever country? Yeah, they're all corrupt. All right. But I'm telling you, Russia is one of the major ones. And I'm tired of people covering for them and giving them defense and saying they ain't doing nothing wrong or anything like that. I'm sick of it and tired of it. If you fell for Russian propaganda, I'm sorry. I at one time fell for Russian propaganda.
Yeah.
You fell for Russian propaganda too, Billy. We all did it one time.
Absolutely.
All right. But it's here to think that Russia is the superior country and Vladimir Putin has never done anything wrong. And even though he's still listening, you want to talk about the Jews and Chabad Lubavitch and Jared Kushner and Donald Trump when Putin is still cozy with Chabad Lubavitch. But yet, no, not Putin, only Trump. Okay?
Let me tell you
hypocrisy.
something. Let me tell you something. When and we'll close with this. When I left my job years ago to go back to school, I had to make a lot of cuts financially, right? So I cut my cable. We still had cable back then. I know nobody had cable, but it was dying out. I still had it, but I cut it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. One of my good friends was paying for a Sling account that he wasn't using. And he's like, you want it? I'm like, sure. And I was looking through it and I was like, wait, you don't have Russia Today. So I made my friend, who's doing me a favor. This is like one of my best friends. So I made him change his package and get me Russia Today because I needed it that bad. He's like, can you get me Russia Today, please? And he did, and because I needed to see it. I needed to watch the real news. And then slowly I realized, oh my God, this is a bunch of bullshit. The majority of it was just nonsense, but a lot of people still subscribe to that here in the alt media. Listen, if you're tuning in over on Rumble, thank you very much. Not a lot of chatter over there.
Billy, can I say one last thing?
Of course you can. What's up?
Sebs mentioned Scott Ritter. For anybody who wants to defend Scott Ritter, you're just blind. Maybe you don't know this. If you know that he got caught twice soliciting underage girls in sting operations, Now, the first time, I guess you could give him the benefit of the doubt, right? That he was
Right.
a whistleblower with the UN weapons inspections, but twice.
Yeah.
All right. No. And I would even give him the benefit of the doubt first time. So I want to read this real quick. It only take 1 second, Billy. I know we got to leave, but
Do your
this is
thing. Do your thing.
important, all right.
Yeah, man.
Ritter was the subject of 2 law enforcement sting operations in 2001. So we got 2 there, and later he was arrested. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He was charged in June 2001 with trying to set up with a meeting with an undercover police officer posing as a 16-year-old girl. He was charged with a misdemeanor crime of attempted endangerment of the welfare of a child. The charge was dismissed and the record was sealed after he completed 6 months of pretrial probation. Ritter suggested at the time that the case was coincided with his prominent dissident against the buildup of the Iraq War, was a smear campaign designed to silence him. All right, so 2 sting operations, got caught twice. All right, sealed, everything, whatever, twice. Okay, third time he gets arrested. All right, so Ritter was arrested again in November 2009 over communications with a police decoy he met on an internet chat site. Police said that Ritter exposed himself via a web camera after the offer repeatedly identified himself as a 15-year-old girl. Next month, Ritter waived his rights to preliminary hearing and was released on a $25,000 unsecured bail. Charges include unlawful contact with a minor, criminal use of communications facility, corruption of minors, indecent exposure, possession of instruments of a crime, and criminal attempted criminal solicitation. Ritter rejected a plea bargain, was found guilty of all but the criminal attempt county in the court of Rochester, New York on April 14, 2011. October 2011, he was sentenced to 1.5 to 5.5 years in prison. He was sent to Laurel Highlands State Prison in Somerset, Pennsylvania in March 2012 and paroled in September 2014. Now, Scott Ritter still says that he was set up. 3.
Disgusting.
3.
Disgusting.
And because he goes on with Judge Napolitano, he jet sets the Dugan's little Russian conferences. All right, just because he speaks the truth out against Israel or what's happening in Gaza. People on alternative media want to give Scott Ritter a pass. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? It's obvious the dude's a pedophile. How dare he's a convicted pedophile. But
But that's what the alternative media likes, apparently. For a long time. I don't want to hear this shit. Everybody turned on him because of Epstein. Because this dude has been implicated with Epstein since Epstein died, since Epstein was arrested. Everybody was talking about it. Here in the alt media, people were talking about it. About the connection between Trump and Epstein. And you guys look the other way. You look the other way.
But they'll look the other way for Ritter. Twice busted.
Disgusting.
Third time busted.
Yuck.
Convicted.
Ugh.
But no, it's okay. He's speaking the truth with Dugan on Judge Napolitano's show against Israel and pro-Russia and Ukraine and Zelensky's so bad.
Alexander Dugan.
More on that. More on Larry Johnson and Dugan and Cost. I mean, they're all a bunch of Duganites and they're all a bunch of Kremlin pro-Russian stooges. Billy, get me somebody. Get me somebody because I'm going to tear them apart like a pit bull.
I'm going to ask around. You see what I'm talking about, guys? You see? This is not a snowflake. You see what I'm talking about here? Black Trump don't play no games. He's inviting people to come into the arena. Pro-Russian alternative media zombie.
Jay Dyer runs from me. Ran from me multiple times.
Like Trump did. Like Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. At least Trump got an interview. Dyer won't even face me. Because he knows that I can call him out as being a CMP Russophile stooge.
Oh my gosh. With that, we are getting up out of here today. Sebs has confirmed next week. She was ready to jump on, but I didn't even see my phone till just now. So I'm sorry, Sebs. My apologies. It would have been dope. But next week is going to be a barn burner if S90 is still in the chat. Hey, you're invited to join the party next week. Ashley, you want to jump in? You're invited to join the party next week. And if anybody knows some pro-Russia people that are going to defend the Russian conspiracy, let me know.
And remember,
John wants to talk to him.
I'll finish with this.
What's up?
Your favorite alternative media's darling, RFK Jr.
Tell him.
Okay, who himself is almost connected up to Epstein as much as Trump is.
Tell him.
Okay. Burgers with Bobby, Scott Ritter, when he was running, when RFK was running for president on August the 6th, 2024, when he was getting ready for his presidential campaign, he was doing a podcast tour. Burgers with Bobby. Scott
So,
Ritter is disgusting.
let
And
me
nobody
address
should
this.
support him.
That Seb, I see Ashley still in the chat. What's up, Ash? I didn't know if you were around or not. Always good to see you in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Ashley does a great show of her own on Thursday nights.
What up, Ashley?
You can find it on the Knights of the Storm, a channel. She has her own channel, but I don't know what it is. I always watch on Knights of the Storm. Send me a link to that, Ash. I don't even know I haven't asked for it yet. Seb says to get Jason Burmis, and the thing is with Jason, I'll get him on and talk to him on my own. He will not
No,
come on with Brisson.
he's run from me.
Yeah,
too.
he and I can attest to this. You know, he says he doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to talk about the CMP for one. And I think I might have been. I mean, I'm very critical of Jason Burmis. So, but I think I might have been caught up in the Brisson sphere. I don't think he wants to talk to me because of Brisson either. You know, but there, I mean, I don't give a shit. You know, I've been very open about Burmis being a giant disappointment. You know, I had him on the Infinite Fringe once. You know, and he during COVID, he gave me some advice. It turned out to be wrong advice, but I thought it was well-meaning. He did it behind the scenes, you know, and I still want to believe that this guy's a good person. But some of the stuff that he's been doing and been saying, it's like, man, I don't know. So he will not come on with John. Like if I tell him it's John Brisson, he's not going to come on. So there's
Burmis and that Flynn network, right?
Right.
Flynn in Russia and Malafie and Dugan.
That was my biggest issue with them is how the stroking of the Flynns never asked about, yo, QAnon, what's going on with that? Let's address some of these allegations. Let's talk about this. No, just stroking. It's disgusting. You know, Luke Rudowski is disgusting, way more disgusting in my opinion than Burmis. I mean, good Lord. You know, I don't want to call Burmis this. Some of the stuff that Burmis has done is disgusting in my opinion. You know, and I would tell him that to his face. I want to believe that he's a good dude. I want to believe that it's just, you know, I'll tell you this. He's just not going to come out with Brisson. So that's not happening.
I will say this about Burmis, and I ain't going to tear him apart here. I think Burmis means well. And not one is good, but I think he means well some of the time.
Right.
But I think he's weak, and I think he's beholden to his audience, and that makes him an opportunist. That's about the nicest thing I'm going to say about Jason Burmis is I think that he means well some of the time. Unlike Dyer, who I believe is a complete snake. And I've done streams calling out Burmis all the time. In the same with Dyer. But even more Burmis. I've been tougher on Burmis than I've been on Dyer. But the whole Flynn thing with him and the the Reawaken America tours with Burmis,
all that shit.
and Patriot.tv.
I'm sorry, dude. If the Reawaken America tour is calling you to be a speaker, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. If they ever called me and said, "Hey, we want you to speak," I'm like, "What did I do so I could never do that again?" Tell me, right? What happened?
I believe you, Billy. That's what's crazy. I know you'd be like, all right, disavow. What did I do? I'm going complete 180 at that point.
All right, fantastic. Yo, Brisson, excellent appearance, my guy. Fantastic. Tell the people where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, you can find me. We've read the documents. People know where I'm at. People know where I'm at, Young Kennedy. I'm glad we were here. We had fun. I want somebody. Get me somebody to defend Russia. Get me somebody, and I will tear them apart. Now I know Jeremy Roth-Kushel. I know that Sebs can do it as well too. Sebs can come on. It can be 2-on-2. It can be 2-on-2. I'm down with 2-on-2, Sebs. You down with 2-on-2? Let's tear them apart together. All right. because
apart together. I don't know if that whomever that unfortunate soul is would be able to hang with that type of a beatdown that you and Sebs would hand out to somebody. Or Jeremy. That shit is crazy, bro. It's too much. Legit, it's too much. Okay, but
Jeremy be trying to make peace. He be trying to be diplomatic. I'm tired of it. Look,
Right.
I'll treat whoever it is with respect. I might get a little passionate. I won't get angry. I won't curse you out.
Mm.
All right. Lord willing, but it's time because so many people are falling for the Russian deception.
Mm.
It's time, Billy. I fell for it too. I'm ultimately the person I'm angry at, and the reason why I have such passion is because I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself because I fell for it. I did.
Man, we all fell for it to a degree, brother. We've all fallen into something, man. That's why we're here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We've fallen for something, at least one or two things, So otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And it's not to say that Russia Today puts out nothing but bull crap, but a lot of it is bull crap. All right, let's get up out of here. 74 people watching. Thank you for impromptu. We appreciate it. How many people are over on Rumble? I don't know. 18? Am I reading that wrong? 15. 15 people on Rumble. What's up to you guys? Thank you for everybody that subscribed over on the America Unplugged channel. A lot more people watching America Unplugged. So maybe if I get consistent, people would keep watching, but I can't promise that. I don't know. You know me, John. I'm like, let's do a show. And then I'm like, shit, dude, I can't do the show. I wanna. Just can't sometimes.
Next week, me on Russia and find somebody. It could be, look, you can get somebody that's diplomatic. It could be Tony or Don. I won't rip apart them. Okay. But I need somebody. I need somebody so I could I will metaphorically bash your head against the wall.
I'm
all right. In a kill shed. All right.
I'm not going to feed Don to you rabid wolves. Okay. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to protect.
Hey, I won't be like Neil to Don. I'll be nice. I respect you, Don. Sanders. I love you, Don. All right. Be respectful. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Nixon 4, motherfuckers. All right. New York, what's going on? We're going to do it. We're going to win the championship in spite of Donald Trump bringing his fat ass back into Madison Square Garden. Get the hell out of my city. Get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. Stay out of my life. John Brissom live from the Kill Shed. What's going on? Black Trump. Jacques Brizant. My name is Billy Ray Valentine, Billy the Kid. This has been the Guerrilla Underground. You know what? I had a lot of fun today. It was fun. It kind of reinvigorated me for another week. I can't promise anything past that. But it was certainly fun being on the air with you and talking to the people again. I got a lot of work to do as per usual. So hopefully next week I won't have that much amount of work and I'll be just free to do 3 hours and it'll be dope. Ashley, I love you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for tuning in. Sebs, same to you. Thank you. Knights of the Storm. What is going on? Thank you. Who else we got? We had Dustin Helm in the chat. My guy. What's up, Dustin? How are you? Angry Tiger was in the chat. Greetings and blessings to you. What's up, man? It's always cool when when Tiger Franco jumps in because he doesn't typically jump in. And to everybody else who's here, how many people? We got 74 people right now.
Shout out to Angry Tiger. He ain't falling for the Russian propaganda. Shout out to you, Franco.
Angry Tiger's done with this shit, and I completely understand and sympathize 100%. With Tiger. To the 73 people that have tuned in here and however many over on Rumble, chat, please, say something. Don't leave it up to the rest of these people, even though I love people that chat. Do it all you want. Thank you. All right, let's get the fuck up out of here. HP Lovecraft, remember the Hulkster at MSG's last appearance? Listen, I was in the house. I don't know if it was the last appearance in the house during Hulk Hogan Appreciation Night. Ric Flair came out and introduced him. And when Real American hit, and I know Hulk Hogan, he let me down.
What about Trump Real American? Trump Real American?
Stop it, John. I'm trying to reminisce happily on my childhood. Okay. When Hulk Hogan came out, I became a child again. When Real American hit, bro.
I did too when he came out for Trump.
I lost it.
I was reliving 2016 all over again, Billy. Happiest times of my life.
You and what you're gonna do, brother, when the largest pythons in the world run wild on you. Oh man, there's nothing like a Hulkamania pop. As much as that dude has let me down throughout life, the only actual hero I've ever had, because I grew out of that shit, but he's the only one that I could look at that was like a legit hero of mine, but beyond my parents, or it was Hulk Hogan, and I didn't get to see him until I was like 20 years old, and I saw him in WCW, and that wasn't the same, but when if that was the last time in MSG, I don't know, but I was there for Hogan Appreciation Night. I had seen him several times leading up to that, but that was the last time I saw him live, and it was a legit Hulkamania pop, and it was dope. So love that. One thing I don't want to relive is Patrick Ewing missing layups. Let's go, New York Knicks. Let's do all the Strangler Steve King. What's going on? To what do I owe the honor? Oh my God, look at the pythons on the Strangler. Say what's up to the Strangler right now, John.
What up, Steve? What you doing?
Don't be disrespectful to the man.
I am not being disrespectful.
Right now, you say what's up. Incredible that it took you this long.
I'm sorry.
Crap.
I was looking on X. I got confused because I don't know, some news was happening or whatever. But
incredible.
Shout outs to the great Steve King. I still listen to WLR when you guys actually have a show. But other than that, I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good.
That's my dude, the Strangler Steve King. Legend.
He's got the first
Legend.
largest pythons in the world. Not
Look
the
at
second,
those pythons.
first.
Look at those things. My God. And they're legit like that. That's not AI. All right, my guy. Good to see you, Striz. I'm gonna talk to you in a sec, most likely. Getting up out of here. Everybody be good. Take it easy. God bless. Maybe next week. It looks very likely. I'm not gonna promise. I'm gonna be straight up like Trump. I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna go on live next week. But it looks very likely that it's going to happen. So that's it. John, we're getting out of here.
We're gone.
All right. Let's play something dope. Let's play something dope. What do we play?
I don't know.
I'm gonna play some Lupe. I'm gonna go see Lupe Fiasco on Wednesday.
I'm jelly.
You should be.
I'm jelly.
If Lupe Fiasco, I'm gonna go see Lupe Fiasco on Wednesday. If the Knicks sweep, Game 4 will be on Wednesday. In New York, with thousands of New Yorkers watching Lupe Fiasco, that place is going to erupt. I'm looking. I so hope it happens.
He was very good when I saw him with my son, and hopefully he's good when you see him.
He's gonna be fantastic. We're getting out of here. It's Gorilla Underground.
What up, y'all?
God bless everybody.
Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know me. I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco. Representing that first and 15. Yeah. And this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a list like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit. It was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing. He couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded since the first kick flip, he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park.